As a game designer, you'll work not only with other designers, but absolutely everyone else in the team. Not to mention that you'll often act as connective tissue between different disciplines. As such, your knowledge should not be limited to just game design. A very common question is, do I need to know how to code to become a game designer? Well, you don't need to be a programmer, but you do need to take at least several basic tutorials to get some fundamental understanding how programming works and make a simple game yourself. And this applies to pretty much everything else related to making games. You will work together with all kinds of professions: programmers, artists, writers, animators, and countless other disciplines. You don't need to be an expert in any given field other than your own, but you do need to understand how everything works to be able to talk in the same language. Which means that you do need to know the algorithmic mindset of coding to provide technically reasonable designs and solutions. You need to have an understanding of color theory and how to get the eye's attention, to collaborate with UI artists in creating good HUD and interface. You need to know the concepts of character arcs and narrative structure paradigms, so together with the writer you would come up with how game mechanics and story complement each other and how both would progress together, and so on. Don't be afraid to ask other people in the team directly to tell about something from their profession, and for example, on your search for articles and videos on the internet, don't focus on just game design. But this is a two-way communication, which means that other people on the team also should have some basic understanding of design, and you should be able to explain the principles if necessary. It's a constant process of sharing and learning, so you as a team could utilize each other's strengths and skills to create a better game together. And note, you don't need to have all this knowledge from the get-go before becoming a designer, but you should be ready to learn about all those things over the course of your career. Ultimately, it is beneficial for you, as the more you understand how every other field works, what is important and what should be taken into account, the better designs you will create. That said, there is one important thing to note. The smaller the team is, the more hats you will wear. Naturally, if you have a one-person project, you need to be able to do everything yourself, from design to programming to UI. In a large team, you usually will be focused more on design, although you should still have some technical acumen, as you will need to make certain types of changes in the game directly, and some basic or intermediate scripting without asking somebody else to do it. And in everything in between, you will wear several hats depending on your skill set, with game design being usually only one of them. In addition, regardless of team structure, your seniority, and the project you're working on, it will be extremely beneficial to also not focus on just game development. Learn and search for whatever else fancies you that is not related to games at all. Dancing, film theory, cooking, mythology, travel, Korean dramas, cats and dogs. Everything, absolutely everything, is a potential inspiration for creating great design solutions. So in the end, the broader your worldview will be, the better designer you shall become.